Hi, Bill Sieglein of the CISO Executive Network here to give you a summary of our Executive Leadership Summit that took place on May 26th in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. The summit theme this year was building high-performing information security and risk management programs. It featured prominent members as our presenters. The summit began with a keynote address by renowned attorney and governance expert Jody Westby. Jody is the CEO of Global Cyber Risk LLC, and she is also a Carnegie Mellon faculty member. Her keynote address was underwritten by our 2011 Platinum sponsor, IBM. Jody presented a summary of findings from a survey that she jointly conducted with Carnegie Mellon Scilab in 2010. The survey report, entitled Governance of Enterprise Security, was compiled from responses of over 700 directors and executives from corporate boards in the United States. They responded to a series of questions regarding their concerns about and their awareness of information security, risk, and privacy matters. For the most part, the conclusions from the report really pointed to the fact that there's still not much commitment to understanding the significance of information security and privacy, and organizations need a more focused approach to these issues. Despite this, there was some good news in the report. Progress among boards regarding risk management is being made. There does appear to be greater awareness among boards and executives of the importance of good information security and privacy practices. And the issues surrounding vendor management and cyber insurance coverage have been improved. The Scilab report, along with all of the presentations, can be found on our website. I encourage you to go there. Jody's keynote set the stage for our member presentations that were aimed at helping attendees understand the key elements to building a successful and industry-leading information security and risk management program. Our first session of the morning, sponsored by Gold Partner Oracle, was entitled Planning and Organizing, a Strategic Approach, and it featured Dennis Brixius of McGraw-Hill and Michael Rossman of Constellation Energy. Together, Dennis and Michael articulated why it's important to start with a strategy in envisioning an information security program. Both stressed the importance of a strategic plan that supports the corporate mission. Dennis and Michael also presented the qualities that are necessary in a successful CISO. It included a solid understanding of risk management in the enterprise and the ability to communicate the importance of security in the corporate culture. They emphasized that the CISO role is a strategic role within the corporation. However, it also requires technical and tactical skills necessary to protect the enterprise. Drawing on their combined successful years of experience, they presented a clear picture of what the high-performing CISO looks like. Following Dennis and Michael were members Jason Tall of General Dynamics Health IT and Carl Burgess of QVC, who made a unique presentation on implementing high-performing programs. Their presentation was sponsored by Gold Partner Symantec. Borrowing from the Goofus and Gallant series in the children's magazine Highlights, Jason and Carl compared and contrasted successful information security programs from less successful programs by showing how Doofus would react versus how Valiant would react. They emphasized the importance of establishing policies and procedures, respecting compliance requirements, and closely monitoring change control and access points, among other things. Just as in the day's first presentation, they delineated the role that effective communication plays in a successful high-performing program. During lunch, Jess Walpole of Diebold presented an overview of her company's global risk and security program, where she heads up governance and compliance. Diebold has a successful high-performing program because it's fully supported by corporate executives and it's appropriately funded to secure the organization from risk. Jess presented the story of how the program began and has grown into a mature, consistently evolving program in just a few short years. Our attendees were intrigued and some were even envious. Advisory Council member Ken Athanasiou of American Eagle Outfitters made the first presentation of the afternoon on new and emerging technologies. His session was underwritten by Gold Partner Cyvalence. Ken explored issues relative to mobile devices, cloud security, data loss prevention, and endpoint protection. He emphasized the diminishing returns on antivirus software and emphasized the importance of replacing that with application whitelisting. He also talked about the importance of DLP in the environment. Our attendees found his presentation very enlightening. Our next session on operating and maintaining a high-performing program brought together Nancy Edwards of State Auto Insurance and Stacy Halata of the Washington Post Company. Nancy and Stacy highlighted critical aspects for monitoring the program inputs and outputs, constantly assessing one's environment and testing for vulnerabilities to assure a strong security posture. Our final topical presentation of the day focused on monitoring and evaluating a high-performing program and was presented by members Patty Long of ING and Matt Tolbert of Westinghouse Electric. Patty was called away to Europe at the last minute, so she sent in a video which Matt incorporated into the presentation. She and Matt really encouraged a clear strategy around establishing, monitoring, and then most importantly, using metrics to measure and present the health and status of your program. By simplifying metrics into 4 distinct categories, incident, operational, compliance, and executive, Patty and Matt provided a clear framework for arguing the value of a metrics approach. Matt provided some very clear examples of how metrics can help support decision-making, while also bolstering funding for information security initiatives. Our expert panel wrapped up the day's presentations. It included Dana Pickett from T. Rowe Price, Sue Koski from Bank of New York Mellon, Anahi Santiago of Albert Einstein Health Network, and Joe Wynn from EDMC. They shared with us stories of how they have successfully managed their information security programs, and they each gave us some key secrets that all revolved around hiring and managing great personnel and striving to clearly and effectively communicate with the business, a theme we heard throughout the entire day. We're so pleased to have had the opportunity to spotlight these impressive members, and I would like to thank each of them, along with our keynote speaker, Jody Westby, for their valuable contributions to the event. Here at the CISO Executive Network, our mission is to share, educate, and engage. We believe at our inaugural Executive Leadership Summit that we achieved that mission. If you attended, I encourage you to drop me a line, let me know what you did like, and also let us know what you'd like to hear us talk about at our next summit next year. I urge you to go to our website and download the presentations and supplemental material. There's some great information there from each of our presenters. While you're there, make sure you register for the upcoming Cloud Series. We expect to see many members at our events. Guys, thank you so much for your commitment to the CISO Executive Network. It's members like you that keep us strong. Thank you so much.